Hi everyone, we are here at Flowers by Nonna in Queens, New York, and we're going to learn how to make a really cool flower arrangement and a bouquet. Let's head in and let's get started. Alright, so we are here with Lady, and we are going to make an all-white flower arrangement in a white mosaic vase. This arrangement is good for very many things if you just want to have it on your coffee table or if you want to send someone a get well message or a sympathy message. Very versatile arrangement that you can get and make.
So we're gonna use a few different flowers. I'm gonna say between 5 different flowers plus the greenery and the filler, like she had mentioned. So let's start. We're gonna first start with the greenery, the leather leaf. So we're gonna take 4 stems. We're gonna clean them up a little, just maybe 1 or 2. And we just set it up, not to overwhelm the flowers later.
All right, so we take a little bit off, and then how much do we trim off?
You go based on the vase, so you measure it, and basically enough that you're gonna see that's still gonna stay in the water.
All right, so
I'll just put this here in the front. That's fine.
All right.
All right, and then another one. I like to have at least 4 or 5, so it's like little, I call it the foundation of the flowers. This helps the flowers stay up. Okay, so this is fine. And then now we're gonna go with the mumps, the spider mumps. They're the round ones, really nice also. I've cleaned them up already earlier, so there's not a lot of greenery, so it doesn't mess up once the flowers goes into the arrangement.
So that's too much, or?
This is a little high,
okay.
So what I like to do is put it on a diagonal and then just cut it so that way, and then you just insert the flower diagonally as well. Okay. So that way it gives it an all around look.
All right.
We have one more football mump. You could pass me. Thank you. And then basically it's the same thing. Ideally you want the vase closer to the edge so that way you have room for the stem to move. But for purposes we have it a little in the middle of the. Okay, so then right here you make with the center. Normally you do the height in the back, and this is the front. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the long white one, which is a stock all the way on this side. That is also another great flower to use. It gives it a different detail. It's not a rose, it's not something round, it's more long. So we'll just clean it up very little as well. Like I mentioned, I cleaned it up before, and just put it on the side.
Oops, let's get this one out of the way. So like this, and then like right here?
No, actually right closer to your fingers. Yeah, right there. Okay, because remember this is a small medium arrangement, and then you want to put it. There you go.
Yeah, because it's a little taller.
Yes. And then we'll do the same one here. These come in different colors as well. Okay, and then now we're gonna go with the roses. We all know how roses are. Okay, this one's a little short, which is fine. No worries. We could put it in the front.
Okay.
And then the last rose, we're gonna measure it to this one a little. Right, that'll be the back rose.
Like here?
Underneath the table, actually, right there.
Okay.
And there you go. I always like to cut it a little more, so in case you have to recut it, you always could recut it, then regrow it, of course. So that's that. Now we're gonna use some daisies. If you can, there's another set of daisies there as well. Okay. So when it's very low, one of the blooms, I like to take it out because it'll get lost in the arrangement. So, and it gets tight. So you'd rather put that to the side, and we could actually use it in a different, smaller piece. So the same thing here, you clean it up a little, and you measure it, and this one's gonna fill in the center, as you see.
Okay.
And then the other one would go in the middle as well.
Like here?
That's fine, yes.
Do that. And then it's hard to get it in there.
Yeah, it might be a little tall, but that's fine. You can leave it like that because that way it's a little similar to this height. So let me just switch it out a little. There you go. So the shorter one's in the front. Okay. And now we're going to use the Monte Cassino. I have some over here on the side already, but you could show them how it comes in. That's how it comes in, and it depends, it varies, but this is definitely how we want it shorter. If you could see, you could pull it out, and that's how we would work. So we would work with one stem is more than enough for this arrangement. So I'm going to pass it along, and that way you can help me fill it in on the little gaps that you see. Basically the same concept, just cut it, trim it a little. Now this one you want it a little longer than the other flowers just because it's the filler. So it's filling up the gaps. So you want to have it come out a little. So it pops out. It pops out. But we're only using, I believe, 5 stems. It's not to overwhelm the arrangements, just to fill in those small empty spaces. And then we're also using another filler, which I have here. This is also a great filler. I like it because it makes it flirty. I know it's sympathy, but you know, it gives it a little spunk to the arrangement. So we have 2 types of fillers. We have this one, which is cassia, which is more of a lavender look. And then we also have the baby breath, which is gyps, but was also known as gyp. So we're gonna use 2 fillers to give it. So in reality, we're using the 3 fillers: gyp, the Monte Cassino, and the cassia. So I'll work on the Monte Cassino, and you could go right ahead and put some of the.
Am I just
that one you could actually leave it because it's very spunky. So you just leave it so that way it gives it that little extra spunk to the arrangement.
Right.
And then the shorter stems, I'll put them down here. And of course, we always want to refresh the cut, just because even though we cut it earlier, like anything, you want a fresh cut so it could drink. The water could get absorbed through the stem.
So then I'll snip off a tiny bit on that end.
So as she does that, I'm just turning it so that way you can see all around the arrangement. Make sure there's no gaps or you maybe have to adjust something. So you could put it over here. Let's just. And that's what it takes to make this piece of a floral arrangement. What I like to do is then just, you know, like everything, just make sure everything's in the water. And then at the end, I could also, we'll put a little bow. You know, that way they could, if it's a gift to somebody, you could always give it to somebody with a little card message attached to the bow. Okay, so I'm just readjusting it because how I moved it a little, the stems came out. But that's basically how the arrangement would go.
All right, now we're going to make a bouquet.
A bouquet is perfect when on the go, you're going straight home or you're going to someone's house. You could just take a bouquet, and it's very easy. So let's start with the greenery. We got a few pieces of leather leaf here. So we bunch it up together like a circle. And then you never want to make a tight fist, always very loose, because you're going to start inserting the flowers. Enough that you could still, the leather leaf might move around a little, but it's okay because at the end we'll adjust it. Okay. So once we get the leather leaf, perfect. Okay. Once we get the leather leaf, we get any filler we're going to use. Today we're going to use the gyp, which we had used, and just insert it. The leather leaf will be moving. Don't worry about it. We'll just readjust it. And basically at this time, just picking it up. Because as we know, we put something in, so whatever's existing comes down. So you're perfect. It looks good. So now we're going to use the Oriental tiger lily. This is a tiger lily. This one's actually opening, so I'm just gently going to take out the pollen just because it stains the flower. Not sure. Yours are still closed, so they're great. So you just basically put it in the center, and if you want, you could twirl it around a little, so that way if there's any green leaf or the baby breath isn't around, you'll bypass it and go right straight through. So for the tiger lily or any lily, it's the first flower to insert because it opens up. So you want it in the center, and you also want it high up because it's gonna come down. So you want it high up so that way it's showcased. I'm just readjusting the filler as well. So once you're done there, we're gonna take the stock, this stock, purple stock, and basically the same thing, insert it. And at this time, you just, side by side, you try to do whatever you do to one side, you do to the next side. As you see, I'm just readjusting it.
Does the purple one need to be high up too?
No, the purple could be, the purple could be a little lower because it's how it's the length, then it curves up this way, so it should be fine.
Okay.
The main concern is the lily. But like I mentioned, everything's gonna fall and then you have to pick it up because, you know, you're moving it as you insert other flowers.
Right.
So that looks fine, perfect.
Right.
So now we're gonna go with the daisy. The daisy is a little trickier because it does have more blooms on the side and it has, we've cleaned it out earlier, so it has a little bump. So just have in mind and just as you put it in, twirl it a little. And basically, I like to put it right next to the lily. So as the lily opens in the future, it's right above the daisy. Perfect.
All right.
So we'll take the other one. I mean, there's no wrong way to doing it. So, I mean, a lot of people do side by side. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. Some people cluster it. So, I mean, it's more of a way of designing it. You have the clustering arrangements as well. You could do that to bouquets as well. And then I'm gonna go right ahead and we'll do the roses. And as you insert, you'll see that you have to be constantly picking up the flower a little, just because everything goes down once you, of course, you're letting your hand loose a little so you could insert the other flower. And then we're doing the last flower, which is a pink carnation, two-tone. This is gonna give it a nice pop because it's a light pink. And as you can tell, all the other flowers are solid color. So this one gives it that extra, like I said, funk. And I'm just readjusting now the leather leaf, bringing it up higher.
And then
We got one more.
the last one, so I'll try to smush it in. Well, not smush. I don't want to smush flowers, but
Twirl it. That's what you want to do.
there.
And then at the end, just readjust the greenery so it could come up a little higher than the actual flower. And you give yourself this view so that way you see every flower is not hidden. And then sometimes you could tell, do you need more baby red? This is a perfect time to add a little extra filler if you do need.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. I've definitely lost the circle of my leather leaf.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I see it there. Just maybe bring up the carnation and the roses a little higher.
Okay. So I'll put the carnation up more.
As high as where you have the daisies. There you go.
Like that. Oh,
That's fine.
and this one got a little lost.
Yeah. The stock a little as well, and you're good to go once you do the stock.
Okay.
So once we get to this point, and we've adjusted all the flowers, then you want to measure it with, because, you know, you can't provide the customer with flowers like, with long stems. So you take a vase, you measure it just the same way we did with the other one. You just measure it so how high you want it, and then you would cut whatever's underneath the thing. So you'll get the clippers, and you want a slanted, always slanted when you're cutting flowers. That way there's more area for them to drink water. So they're gonna absorb the water.
So measure, so maybe like
Yes,
around here.
right there's fine. And then a slanted.
Slant. You can tell Lady is so professional. She did this so fast. And without smushing.
Anyone can practice will make you a professional as well. Anyone, as long as you know, and like I've always said, flowers have their mind of their own. If it's turning, if the rose is like a little curve and it's turning, just leave it. You know, it's you know, don't go overthinking it. Just, you know, leave it. It is naturally. Naturally, sometimes they're naturally curvy, and that's it. And then at the end, you would take, how it's being a bouquet wrapped to go, you take a little bit of curly ribbon, you wrap it, then you could set it on the table and just make a small little tie. Excellent. And this is our bouquets.
Flowers are perfect for any occasion, and there are so many more options than your typical red roses. Flowers by Nonna has a variety of floral arrangements and bouquets that you can choose from. If you're in Queens, New York, come down to the store. They have a lot of fun indoor and outdoor pots and planters, and houseplants too. You can also add a balloon or some chocolate to go with your orders. Check out the link below for their website. Thank you so much, Lady, for showing us how to do these things. They came out absolutely beautiful. And thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. And if you're looking for more really cool how-tos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.